considered the price point, I figured I could probably do better with something else. Nothing. It's completely clear around my car.
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
It makes you feel really good.
Yeah.
I was the cooler talk at work. Everybody wanted to know, because I was the first person at our building to get an electric car.
Yeah. Well, hi, Elena. Welcome.
Thanks
for coming down. You're looking very good. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too.
So on such a cold and really cold night. Yeah. We got your car in all warming up, and we're really looking forward to hearing what you have to say about coming down here and what's happened since you bought your electric car.
Right.
I'm very thrilled too to have you. So.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to be here.
Good. You're going to be doing most of the talking, by the way.
Fair enough.
So tell us a bit about yourself, first of all, as a person.
Okay.
And then what brought you down here, I guess.
All right. Well, my name's Elena. You already knew that.
Yeah.
I'm a chemist, and I moved to Calgary with my partner Andrew about coming on almost 6 years now. And when we first moved to Calgary, because of the mountains, we got an SUV. When I became permanent and had a bit more job security, it was time to get a second vehicle. And at first I was looking at all the smaller model cars. I didn't want a big car. We already had our SUV. I just wanted a nice little commuter car to get to and from work, go to the gym, go to yoga, just do my errands, grocery shopping. And I was really disappointed with the cars that I was test driving. The smaller gas cars either didn't have any pep or had just really terrible driving, and when you consider the price point, I figured I could probably do better with something else. When I started doing some research online, I found your guys' place and came down, test drove the car that I bought. The car was way peppier than all of the other cars I had driven.
Yeah.
It was fun to drive. The regenerative brakes were fantastic.
Yeah.
I could easily get where I wanted to go with it. I've taken my car so many times to Costco, and it's really hilarious when you're in a parking lot full of these huge cars, and I drive up with this tiny car that's at least half the size, and I can do a full grocery shop at Costco with it, no problem. Sometimes if I've got extra stuff in the back, it can be questionable whether I get a passenger or not.
Yeah.
But even then, I went to Canadian Tire and I got 3 bags of dirt and 2 bags of mulch, and I fit it in the back, and it didn't even block my view at all. Like, it's really well designed, and I can fit everything I need in it for the purpose of a commuter car. It's perfect for the second car that we needed in town. You're welcome.
How about telling us a bit about what it was like when you came here and looked at cars? What was that like?
I went to the website to do my original kind of searching. I did that for all the other cars as well that I was looking at, and through your website I booked an appointment to come in. I did a test drive with Ryko, and it was really easy. He had no pressure. A lot of the other dealerships that I went to had a lot of pressure tactics, whereas here it was like, yeah, this is the car, this is how it drives, what do you think? It was a really nice, or really refreshing compared to some of the other experiences. The only thing that I didn't really like about it was the fact that I'm a little bit tall for the car, so the seat doesn't lower down or the steering wheel come up, so I found the very top bit of the speedometer visually, I'd like to see a little bit more of it, and if it was a different type of model, some cars will allow you to alter little things so that you can get the best viewing, but what I really liked about this car compared to a lot of the other cars I was trying is it kind of felt like we were in a fishbowl. You've got the panoramic roof above you, and the windows are so long and wide behind you that I could just see everything. I felt like I had no blind spots. Mm-hmm. A really nice, easy, refreshing experience. I went home, I thought about it, but the more I thought about it, the more I just kept convincing myself that this was what I wanted to try. I reached out to a couple of my family members. My brother was studying to become a mechanic, and he was like, oh no, don't get an electric car. They're not ready for kind of general public use. the battery will give you issues, it's really expensive to replace, and he was really trying to deter me from it, but with how well it drove and how I felt in it, I decided to go for it anyways. There's definitely a couple of people that were skeptical, but as soon as I bought it, I was the cooler talk at work. Everybody wanted to know, because I was the first person at our building to get an electric car.
Yeah. I've actually heard from a few people who said they talked to a mechanic, and especially the apprentices, interestingly enough, they're being fed information that they're not reliable and they're expensive to repair, and it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't compute at all. I find that really sad.
I don't know. But I'm sure he'll come around. I have to say though, the first day that it got cold, I had a bit of range anxiety because I hadn't charged my car up as much as I probably should have going to work. And for the first time, I dipped past the 20% mark, which is kind of like your empty equivalent on or like your empty warning light coming on for your fuel tank. So that was the first time that I had gone to that point, and normally it takes me 10% to drive to work, and it took me closer to 20 that day, so I kind of pushed the limit there a little bit, but got to work just fine, and now I'm a little bit more diligent in planning how I charge, especially in cold weather. But when it was warm out, it was super easy. I could go a couple days without charging. I've got a roughly 30k commute round trip to get to and from work, so it's been great.
We tell people, make sure you buy a car that'll work for you in the cold weather. That's the main thing. And the other thing, although I might have told you this already, is that for those people who have range anxiety, I say, you know what? When it says you have 1 kilometer range left, you have 1 kilometer range left. Like, it will never die before 0, ever.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. My next question is, I was wondering what you would say to someone else who might consider buying an electric vehicle.
Ooh, just go for it. It's, it might require a little bit more pre-planning, especially I got the smallest car on the market, and due to size restrictions, there's only so big a battery they can put into the car, I'm sure with time the technology will surely evolve. That I'm hoping in 5 years I can replace the car battery with a more efficient one and not have to buy another car. If you are able to plan a little bit more than you might until the system gets built up so that there are more charging stations throughout the city, because right now, especially in the Northwest, there aren't too many charging stations, you're good to go. Especially with a bigger car, you'll have a larger range too. Just go for it. It's not a huge adjustment. The driving's really easy. It's really comfortable. It's not that bad in the cold weather. People made it sound a lot worse than I thought it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be based on what people told me. And what's also kind of funny is during the winter cold spell that we've had recently, you stand, in traffic, and everybody has this steam billowing out from behind their car, and it's a cloud of kind of fog that you can really see just because of the temperature difference coming from the exhaust. And then my car is just nothing. It's completely clear around my car.
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
It makes you feel really good.
Yeah. Good. So the last thing I wanted to ask you is, do you think you would have purchased an electric car if you weren't able to come in and see us?
Honestly,
what would have been like?
When you look at the price of some new electric cars, it can be a little bit daunting. Even a hybrid, I was looking at the Toyota Prius, I believe it is. That's a hybrid. Because that was part of my small car original search. And I really liked the inside. It was super spiffy. It wasn't as peppy as I would have liked it to be, but it was definitely a car that I liked more than some of the other models. But it was significantly more expensive as an entry point compared to the other ones I was considering. And when you kind of calculated out that you still needed to buy gas and everything else, and still do the regular maintenance associated with regular fuel cars, which is another plus of electric, there's like next to no maintenance. It's been fabulous. My partner Andrew has gone, paid a bunch of dollars a shot to go get his car tuned up and all the stuff associated with it. And I'm like, I don't have to go for another 2 years. It's a higher price point to begin with. And I got my car for at least half, a little bit less than half. And that just made it a lot easier to kind of say, all right, let's jump in and give it a shot and see how I like it.
Yeah.
When you don't have the experience with it, it's, that initial jump can be a little bit harder to do. But because I was able to get a secondhand electric car, it was in great condition, it runs fantastic, I would definitely have the confidence for my next car to maybe buy new and go a little bit higher in price point. So, yeah. No, if it wasn't for you guys, I definitely would not have gone this route. I probably would have gone like a little micro or something. And it would not have been as nice as my little car, so I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, I'll bet you are. So thanks very much. It was lovely.
Thank you.
Awesome.